but some of you may have been on last week's session where we were really just talking about the foundation, right? The filters, the lead coming in, utilizing those filters. Now, if any of you guys were on last week's session, I know our attendance wasn't as significant. It was our first session, and I know the awareness wasn't quite there just yet. Did anyone, or is anyone previously using those save filters? Did you watch the webinar last week and started to utilize them and found that they were useful with what you were doing? You guys can raise your hand if you were in there or if you utilized the filters, because they're really just there to, you know, guide you and help prevent those leads from slipping through the cracks. It's not anything that's overwhelming, or should be. It can be overwhelming for some. Perfect. Murtaza says yes. Awesome. So they're really just there to really help guide you guys, because as you can see, going page by page, you're definitely going to have leads slip through the cracks if you're doing it that way. So today, what we are going to be doing is learning all about templates. So whether they're email templates or SMS templates. Those templates are really going to, when you create a template, it just allows you to be able to easily select and send, right? So being able to select and send those, whether it's an email or an SMS, or send a mass email or a mass SMS, things like that. It is very straightforward. It's not overly complicated, and they're both very similar to one another in how you can create them. There's just a slight difference. So with your email templates, you're just going over to the settings and you're going to go to email. Okay. Now, if you navigate over to the email template section, some of you may notice there's a lot in here, but you all should have, and if you don't have, reach out to our support team because we can install them. You should have around 170 templates that are already in here for you. Those templates that are typically in here are actually templates that have also been utilized in a bunch of the campaigns that have already been dumped into your system. Now, you can definitely edit any of these existing ones. So you can just click the edit option and you'll be able to see that there. So you can go ahead and just make your edits right from this page. Now, if we are going into the email templates here, and you're also looking at this list of, let's say, 514 emails, you can also narrow it down based on category. So when you are going and creating a template, which we'll run through, you can select a category to put it in, or you can develop a new category. So, you know, maybe you have like, you know, first-time buyer emails or mortgage-related emails or whatever it might be. So you can categorize them so they're easy for you to locate moving forward. Now, you simply just click on Create New to develop a new email template in here. When you're selecting the category, again, you can select the previous one, or you can create a new category. You can just do it here. So I'm just going to call it test category and go save. Now, although you've saved it, you're still going to have to select it. So you just have to go back to your list. You can type it, or you can just go test category, and it's going to place this email in the test category. The title of the email. So this is for your reference only so that you can easily find it. It's never seen by the lead. Okay, it's only for you in the back end. So I'm just going to call this one test title, just as an example. And then, of course, your subject, whatever you want the subject to your email to be. Now, when you're creating your email, you have the command. So the shortcode of commands in the system. So you may see it in some of the text messages. When you're looking at them before they've been sent, things like that. These are all going to action different bits of information when you are, you know, pulling data based on that lead or yourself. So Nabil is asking, is this for drip email? You can use these for drip emails, yes. So if you want to create the templates for drip email, it's a lot easier. It'll be a lot faster for you as well to build out that campaign because you've already got the templates. And then it's just a matter of selecting which templates you want to use, but then also gives you the ability to send them in a one-off scenario as well, right? So this is all relative to your leads information. So your leads first name, your leads last name, their phone number, their email, the city that they are looking in essentially, and things like that. So if we were to just to type here, for example, hi, and then it's drag and drop. Okay, so you just drag and drop that short code. Now the short codes are case sensitive. Okay, so if you go and make an edit and you, for example, if I change this to a lowercase n, just as an example here, the short code would not work. It would actually go out saying hi, first name. So we're going to make sure that we're dragging and dropping just to prevent those errors from actually happening. I've done it myself as well, manually doing it, where I sent a text message and did a soft bracket and one send on one side, and that was fun. It'll happen. It happens to a lot of people, including myself. So the drag and drop is helping prevent that. Now you do have your agent data shortcodes. So you have different options here as well. So if you're creating an email, let's say, and you want to mention different individuals within your system. So this will, like, let's say you have a lead and the lead has assigned to them a main agent, a listing agent, and a mortgage agent, and you wanted to introduce them in an email. That's what these are for, is so that you can, replace it with the, the main agent's first name, for example. You can also do it for the listing agent. So it's like, hey, I'm going to have listing agent first name help you out with your home search moving forward. It's just different ways to creatively pull this data, because for some of you, if you are a team, there could be multiple different listing agents or multiple different mortgage agents. It's just reflective of who that person, where they're looking to buy or their price points, things like that. So regardless of who it is, it's going to replace it with the name of the person that's actually assigned that role on that specific lead. Now, majority of the time, you are using the sender data, okay, which is, I'm sending this email, this is my information. So whether you're putting your name and your title, whatever in there, but always make sure you're including your signature. So putting your signature in here, and if you're doing it as the sender, for example, and again, you're making these templates, if you are a team, are going to be available to all of your team members to use. So it's naturally going to replace the signature with their signature because they're the ones sending the email. Okay, so always using that, not putting a hard copy of a signature in there. Otherwise, it's a hard copy of a signature. This naturally just pulls based on the person sending the email. Now, you also have the element. So the element is if you want to write like good morning. So if I was saying in here, for example, or afternoon, so if I type good, you would just drag this over, place it in there. And basically what it'll do is it'll change it to either morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on the time of day that the email was sent to that lead. And then, of course, you have activity shortcodes. So the activity shortcodes are reflective of the listing engagement that has been happening on that lead's account. So it'll make you create or allow you to create emails to your leads that appear to sound like it's directed specifically for them, where in fact it's using shortcodes. You could send this out to 100 different people and the information is going to be slightly different because it's all reflective of their behaviors and activity. So for example, I could say, I can see you've been searching for homes in, and then you can type Mosfeed City. This is going to change it to the city that they've been prominently viewing the listings in, right? So it's just being creative like that, whether it's, in the price range. So I can see you've been searching for, homes in Mosfeed City, priced between, and then looked at price range, right? So it's just drag and drop. So it's allowing you to create something unique, just using data based on their viewing activity in here, okay? So that's what the activity shortcodes are. You will also have, these are website registration. So this is just the activation URL. So it gives them this long URL if you wanted to include that in an email. And then you also have the mobile app. Okay, so this app link here will create and develop the unique app ID for that specific person, because they all have that different ID that's connected to their account in your system. So even when you guys are creating your email signature, you can include it as the shortcode in your email signature on here, because it's constantly going to change the ID of it, reflective of who you actually sent that email to. Okay, so it's kind of a neat thing there. So that's something to get them to engage and use the app. Again, the app is beneficial for all of you and your leads. It's very easy to use. They can browse properties on the go. But one of the ultimate benefits for you guys is that part of the registration on this app, when they go to set it up, is asking for their address. So anyone that does download the app, you're going to get their address for it. And they also start to receive listings in their neighborhood. So similar property types in their neighborhood, active listings. If you have access to sold data, that lead would also get listing alerts for sold listings in their neighborhood as well. It is not the same. So Nabil is asking if it's the same app as Zillow. No, we have our own. It's a custom app for our system. It's not the same as Zillow's app. Zillow probably has their own custom app. This is our app, and it's connected to your system. So you're still, if somebody's on the app browsing properties, it's connected to their user account in here. So you're going to be able to see when they're active on there and what properties they're liking and they're checking out and how many times and things like that. So it's going to be the same, except for they can view it on the app and they get push notifications. And most of us are on our phones anyway, right? So we're finding about 80% of those people that download the app are using the app overview in the emails to look at properties. So there's that. Now in your email itself, here you can do formatting, of course. You can see there's different formatting options in here. You do have the ability to add source codes. So if you guys, for any of you guys that might know some scripting, you can definitely throw in those scripts, or if you have something that you want to embed in the email. So different things, for example, well, different websites will give you an option to embed something. You can include the embed link through the source code. You can also link, so hyperlinking. So, you know, whatever it might be. So if we're taking homes and we want to link the word homes to a link onto your website of houses, for example, there's a weird example, but you can put the URL where you want to direct them to. So you're just copying the URL and then you go to, you know, I always suggest new window so it doesn't take over their current screen. It opens up a new tab. So if I wanted this, you know, somebody clicked on, you know, this link and I wanted them to go to, you know, facebook.com, when they do, I'm just going to go, okay. It's going to ask if I want to add that prefix. And then now this is hyperlink. So this is now when the email goes out, if somebody clicks on it, it's going to open up Facebook for that individual. So that's hyperlinking in there. Now you do also have the ability to include images in here. So if you want to do images, you're just clicking on that. It's going to allow you to upload an image from your computer. So whatever image it might be, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do something like this as well, where you can upload an image and also link an image as well. So not just text, you can hyperlink, but you can also hyperlink images. So this is considered a GIF, so it's a moving picture. It's not a video, but I can hyperlink this, right? So I can take this picture and hyperlink it somewhere. This is what you guys are seeing when you're looking at things like BombBomb. BombBomb is not sending a video in that email. They are sending a GIF that makes it look like a video instead. Okay, so we'll go through how to do that. So for example, I am going to just copy this and I'm going to hyperlink this picture to our YouTube channel in a new window. Go okay, and then if test YouTube. Okay. So once you've done any updating in here, you can just save it. You can also have attachments in there as well. Okay. Now, when we go, so I'll show you what that looks like when it's received. Okay, so I'm going to take a lead, take this one here, and the template's now going to be here. I'm just going to start typing YouTube because I know that I included that in there, and I'm going to select it. So you can see here, right? He was searching for homes in King price between 2.3 and the 2.5 million. So that was all data based on this account and what listings I've looked at. Okay, we can see the GIF in there. This is the signature. So there's a lot of different people in our email signature just from training purposes, but those are all there for you. And now I'm going to send it. Now, before you guys do send any emails in here, you can always send a test email. Okay, so the test email will just send it to yourself first, so you can make sure, for example, all the hyperlinks are working and or it's formatted the way that you want it to. On this case, I'm essentially just sending it to myself, so I'm just going to send it to myself so I can show you what it looks like in there. So let me just open up my inbox here and open up the email so I can show you. All right, so there we go. So this is the email that I just received from the Agent Locator training. The title in there, we can see. So if I click Homes right now, it opened a new tab, brought me to Facebook. If I click on this GIF, opening's in a new tab, and it's bringing me to the YouTube channel for Agent Locator. Okay, so I've also done this. It's actually kind of fun. I've done this in my email signature as well. So using GIFs is a great way to engage with your audiences. We're kind of funny in the way that we like to click on things, right? Things that are moving. So I actually have my email signature with that also links to our YouTube channel in here as well. I've created GIFs as well for you guys to leave reviews. So it's a great way to draw attention to something and encourage a higher click rate or click to action rate. So Nabil is asking, with the app, I just copy and paste the link above their name and text it to them, right? Yes. So if we have this lead right here, this is their app link, right? So if you're using the shortcode that we just reviewed in the email section, it's going to replace that shortcode is going to replace it with this ID for each lead. So you have different options there. So I sent it because so it says good afternoon instead of good morning because the account here is set up in Ontario because I am in BC. But it's afternoon. It's based on your time zone, not mine, not the receiving time zone. That's why. But yeah, so let's go and show you how you guys can actually create a GIF. It's actually really straightforward. And again, it does help engage your leads or contacts, whether you just want them to click on something or whatever it might be. So I'm going to actually open up. Actually, I'll bring this one back because I need to be logged in. I can't do that, so I'm just going to go. So what I like to go to is jiffy.com. Okay, there's other ones as well. I believe Addo sent out something or put it in our Agent Locator clients group. I think there's obviously other ways of doing this. This is the one that I personally use. Now, once you're in here, you can just go to create. It's gonna ask you to log in, but ultimately you're going to create something. And then you can add an image if you want. So if you just want a still image that, let's say it says click here and it's an image, and then you want to add animation like an arrow pointing at it, you can do that. So that's one way you can do it. You can also do it through a media, so like a YouTube, for example, or Vimeo, just as an example there. So let me take Addo here. So we got Addo. There is a time limit on there. So when you're creating the GIF, your video, I believe, has to be under 15 minutes long in order to upload it. So you're just going to share it. You're going to copy the YouTube link. And this thing is probably going to give me copy video URL. And okay, it's not going to let me do it that way. But I'm not sure why this is not loading instantaneously for me. All right, it's not letting me do this. I wonder if it'll allow me to do it this way. Nope. So this is odd. Sorry guys, I've never had this happen. So let's try this one and share it. That one will be too long. This one. Okay, it's giving me a hard time with getting that share link, but it'll be the same. So I'll just do it as the image, okay? For whatever reason, it's not allowing me to, or it's not loading the share. So basically on here, you're just gonna hit share. It's gonna give you a URL for the share version of that YouTube. And then you're just gonna click it right into here, is what you're going to do. Okay, so you just throw it right in here. So for now, what I'll do is I'll do it without the video. But I'll also show you where there's actually a full tutorial on the adding the GIF in your system. So if you wanted to do it. So I'm going to use this just for fun. So I'll use this contact one. I'm going to log in to my account here. Perfect. So again, I'm going to choose the file that I want to create the GIF with. And you can see that it's loaded on here. Okay, so that's a PNG, so it's kind of showing a little bit funky. But you can add a caption. So if you wanted to add something, so like email me, you can have a different style of how that text is on here. Okay, you can move this text, of course, to wherever you want it to go. You can add animation to that text. So if I want it to kind of move or sparkle, right, I can do that. And then you can add multiple text as well. So you can kind of go through. It'll all be kind of conjoined though. So you can't add one and then another one and another one, unfortunately. Not on this one anyway. Then this is where you're going to add stickers, right? So this is where you can add the animation to your pictures. So let's just see if there's something for email. I don't know. Right, so we can, let's just add this one. You just click on it and it's going to add the animation. So you can move it, you can increase the size, you can rotate it, things like that. Right, so I can add that there. Now, once it's done and you're doing it, you're just gonna go to continue to upload. Okay, so you can change a source URL. You don't really need to do that, it's not necessary, but you upload it to Jiffy. Okay, so once it's done being uploaded, the video, the only real difference between the video and an image is the video, you're putting in the link for the video, and then you can actually scale like where in the video you want the animation to be and how long. Right, so you can kind of pick a spot that maybe is where you can see there's action and you're talking and there's movement, so they realize it's a video, throwing that play button on there, things like that. So really that's the only difference. Now your GIF is created. So I can actually save this. You're gonna right click the image. So sometimes you could click somebody somewhere and it's gonna show like this. So just make sure you just click somewhere else and just so you get the image. So we're gonna save it. So I'm gonna call this email GIF and save it. So now it's essentially a picture on my computer. Now from here, again, it's the same idea. So whether you're creating an email template or just want to use this in a one-off scenario, you can include or upload that image. Okay, so I have the email GIF here and I'm gonna open it. And there it be. And then you would just hyperlink it in this case. So it's easy peasy. Again, you can reduce the sizes, you can drop it, into whatever you want, but it's a great way to add a little bit of excitement to the communications that you're sending, or even your email signatures, right? If you want them to click, see what your neighbor's homes are selling for, add a little animation to that, have it typing. It's easy to do a typing one. You're just taking a blank image. So you take a blank image, like go on photo or Microsoft Paint as an example, and you get like just a banner that's plain, whatever color you want, and then you upload that very plain image to GIF, and then you just do the text, right? Whatever it says, like click here to go to wherever. And so it'll kind of like, there's a typewriter one. So you can get really creative and fun with these. So that's that. Now, how you can watch that tutorial outside of here is just right up here in this question mark. So down at the bottom, there's going to be the creating a video. So adding video to your email. So again, this is exactly what BombBomb is doing. BombBomb just does it where it's all within their program, right? So everything, the video is on there and what have you. But this here is on whichever account. So if you're trying to build and drive traffic to a YouTube channel, it's just a great way to do it as well, or drive them to a listing on your website. You know, all different creative ideas there. Now, as far as the SMS messages, the templates are the same as well. So those templates, they will, there's already several in here. Again, some of these may be different than yours. I can't recall how many you guys will have, but there is some already created that are part of a campaign. Now, to create, so of course you can edit these templates if you want to, but you can of course create a template. Now, you can load an existing template if you wanted to, but in this case, we're going to create a template. So again, you're just giving it a name. So it's going to call it test SMS. And then you have an option here of personal or company. Okay, so emails, when you're creating an email template, they're company level templates. SMSs are not all company level templates, but this allows sub-users to create their own canned messages as well. So if you come in here and you're creating an SMS template and you're the main account holder, or the only person in your account, you're going to see the option of company or personal. If you are a sub-user that does not have admin rights, you're only going to see the personal option. And it's exactly that. So if you guys are creating company templates, that means that everyone within your organization will have access to that template to be able to utilize it. If you create it as a personal template, then it's exactly that. It's personal to your specific account, and only you can use it when you're logged in. So I'm just going to create this as a company one, and it's the same idea, right? So it's all drag and drop. Nothing is different. It's exactly the same. The only difference is there's no signature. Okay, so in the agent shortcodes, sender data, there is no shortcode for signature because it's not an email. There's no email signature, but you can end it with your first and last name, things like that. So that's really the only difference. You still have that app, though. You can create a text to send somebody the app link, different ways of creativity like that. So those are your templates and how to go about creating them. Now, again, you can easily click on a lead to select those templates to send to them. You can also send those emails or SMS messages, mass to your group. Whether you're going to create a specific audience or you're just going to send it to everyone, just really depends on what it is. In this case, I'm just going to show you how you would do that. Is you can select this top row. It's going to naturally select all the people in that list. Okay, if you wanted to just select a couple people, let's say I wanted to send it to just these two people, you can just select those two people. And then of course, right here, you do have the ability to select everybody in here. Now, when you send in the mass messages, you're just going to apply actions. Okay, so we're going to, you can send your mass email. So when you go to send your mass email, it's the same idea. Okay, so if I was to do and try to find that YouTube one, they're here. You're going to be able to send a test email to yourself. Okay, so again, before you shoot it off to all your contacts, you can at least preview it beforehand. Now, with the SMS messages, when you are sending an SMS message, you are going to want to limit it to under 25 contacts or 200, sorry, not 25, 200 or less at a time when sending a mass text. Okay, this is going to keep you under the radar. Okay, so it's kind of like FinTrack. Anything over $10,000 at the border is raising flags, right? Anything under 10,000 doesn't raise the flags. Same idea with the text messages. So anything under $200 or 200 leads is not going to raise those flags. Anything over will raise the flags, and it's just bringing attention to your account. Because if you keep doing it multiple times, you're going to get flagged as being spam, and they'll shut you down. Okay, so you don't want to do that. You just want to protect yourself. So in this case, I would, go to the, let's say the last page here, and let's say I want to just unselect these, and then you can just unselect the certain pages, right? So however you want to do it, I'm going to unselect them. So unselect that one, and there we go. Unselect all those ones. Now we're at 200 of 225, and then that's where you can send your mass SMS. And when you have your mass SMS, this is where all your templates are. So that little plus sign there, anything that you've created is going to be in here. Okay, there's a lot of duplicates. This is a test account, but again, it's going to show you all the shortcodes. So when you're sending in a message as a mass, it shows you all the shortcode. If you're sending or going to send it to somebody as an individual message, it's going to automatically fill it in. Okay, so for example, this one here, if I was to load the template, it will show the person's name. All those shortcodes have been filled in with the data pertaining to that one person when you're doing it. Now, does anyone have any questions? Gotta be some. You guys are like taking it all in. Love it. Awesome. Wow, you guys are doing pretty good. Now, in one of our future sessions, we are going to be doing, identifying your leads based off filters and things like that. That's one of our upcoming webinars. We are also going to, going over using the mass SMS. So we're going to talk to you or send you a bunch of information with respect to that, and kind of going from there. But I'll give you a little bit of an inside scoop on it. So it's really identifying your leads. So sending mass messages to your leads. And again, if they're engaging, so whether it's a template or it is part of a, you're just sending it out as whatever kind of mass action, it's finding the audiences, right? Tracy, yes, I've been in here for many years to make it look so easy. There's a lot of repetitiveness of what I do. So I am very quick in here. I don't ever expect anyone. One day you will be probably better than me. That's the goal, is we want you guys to be better, so that you can engage more and really leverage the system, because there is a lot of tool, and most people that we do interact with, they use like a fraction. It's like we use a fraction of our brain's capability. A lot of individuals use a fraction of their system's capability, and often it's no fault of your own. You guys are just really busy, so it's, you kind of learn and you use what's effective for you guys in that moment, and then sometimes we don't realize what's available to us, right? So you will all be getting lead notifications in your system. So that will allow you to engage with leads based on, their activity levels, things like that. You can, of course, change your sort orders in here based on their activity. So if you wanted to show everyone that was most recently active first, you can. The list will flip. And I've obviously got a filter. I'm on page 21. That's fine. So we can see this one was, 2 hours ago, 1 day ago, and then it kind of flips around. So it's nothing. It might be in order because of activity in here, but when we're looking at this outside of the box, it's pulling up leads based on when they were last active, not when they registered. Okay, so we can see this person is from February, whereas this person's from April, but this one was active, more recent than this one was active in here. Now, leads, we do have responses, SMS messages and things like that. So in that course or that session that we run, we are going to be essentially running that for you or helping you guys with that to give you some examples of SMSs that do work for engagement, getting your leads to become responsive to you. That's the biggest one for a lot of people. So in some cases, it could be, I want to pull up everyone that was recent last. I want to pull up my least engaged people in my system and see if I can't stir the pot, right? So that's one way that you can do it. You also have the ability to filter your leads based on their registration. Okay, so in their pipelines, for example. So if we go in here and we wanted everyone, let's say in our pipeline that is currently on not set, new lead, try to contact, or non-responsive, meaning we have not made a connection with these people just yet. Any of them, doesn't matter when. There's 125 people in here. You can scale it back. So if I want to say, okay, now I'm going to take this into a cluster. I want everyone that was active. Let's say I want to see everyone that was active though, in let's say in the last 90 days. I'm saying 90. I'm hoping somebody shows up. Again, this is a test one. So there's 7 of them. 7 of them were active within the last 90 days in here. Okay, so in many cases, you guys would do maybe a shorter period, so whether it's 60 or 30, things like that. But this is going to show you the ones that have been active that you still haven't had any connection with them whatsoever. So this is where you can stir the pot, right? So where you might want to send them a text message, prompting them, I just want to check in. You've been receiving listings from me for a while now. How are you enjoying them? Question mark, right? Simple messages like that are what's generally going to get you response. Sometimes you can send a message just asking if it was them, and they will respond. So if I was like, hey, is this first name, question mark? They'll often say yeah, or no, you've got the wrong number, right? So, but at least you've got them to respond, and then you can try to, carry on that conversation. So a lot of different tips and tricks and things like that in there. But that's going to be a whole other webinar on its own, or like part of this series. It's another session. I think it's a day 4. I can't quite recall, or session 4. We're going to start going through more of those during the pot features. Does anyone have any questions? Because aside from that, we've basically covered our templates today. Did you guys have any questions pertaining to whether it's the templates, the system, or any generalized question in here? We will be doing a session specifically on your open Q&As as well. So that will be for you guys. There's a couple of those. I'm just trying to figure out where we have those in our schedule. So give me a minute. I will find that for you. Something happened. I'm on. Why is this so? Oh, I got so many emails coming in. That's why. Okay, so yeah, so we're doing a follow-up session on your filters next week, and then campaigns and things like that. So we'll start using, we'll go through next session, we'll go through the CRM filters, just kind of answering any questions about that, but then also the engagement. So learning how to engage with the leads a little bit more. I'll give you guys examples of some SMSs that you can use to engage. Nabil is asking, can you send the home locator in a mass email, or do you have to do it individually? You can definitely do it in a mass action. So that's where in your email, when we were creating the email template, that's where you have the short code for the app. Okay, so this is automatically going to produce the unique link to each person that it gets sent to. Okay, so you can create your own mass email. You can also do it through a mass text. So it's, yeah, you can definitely do that. Now, you guys do also have a campaign in your system. Some of you, if you don't have it in here, just let us know. But you also have a campaign specifically for the app. There's a long version and a short version. So I'm just going to see. So this is a short version. So if you see short, I've shortened it out because personal opinion, I thought that there was just too much follow-up communication afterwards. There is going to be a stopping clause, though. There is a stopping clause if they download the app. But I figured it's, pestering about the app too much. I don't want them to unsubscribe. Ultimately, that's like, I don't want them to unsubscribe from stuff. So this shortened one is basically a text message about the app, and it uses the app link. So as you can see, the app link is in here, and then it sends them an email right afterwards. And then we have 5 days later, another SMS asking if they've downloaded the app, and then another email. And that's it. That's the short version. Now you do have the longer extended version. If you guys are looking for a full extended version, you can. So there is, so these are the, nope, those are the old ones. Things got duplicated in here. So the home locator, this one might be duplicated. So I apologize if it is, but it will give you a general idea. So this one here is, one SMS, so the same idea, except for this is all messed up. So, but it's a longer one. So where it's longer is at the end, there's more text messages, like 5 additional text messages at the end of it following up, which personally, I thought it was a little too much, maybe not for all of you, but I just wanted to give people options. So we reduced some of them. There is also another buying campaign that we're utilizing as of now for anyone that's new that's coming on. You guys can essentially ask for it, okay? So it's actually a series of 11 SMS messages, and it also utilizes that home locator campaign. So if you guys want this, this is a great way to keep conversations or, prompting leads, even after you've connected with them as well, just so that they're not slipping through the cracks. So again, we have your standard messages that go out when your lead registers. So those are the standard ones. Then 1 minute after, or like 1 day later, basically, after that one they're going to be added to the campaign for the home locator, the short version, no. So they're going to get a couple emails and a couple SMSs about that. And then we kind of loop them back in here. And then these are very spread out, right? So these SMS messages that you're seeing in this version here are essentially the ones that are have the most engagement with our ISA team. So when they're sending these out to the leads that they're working for, these ones tend to have a good response rate. So they're just questions here that you may want to send. So again, it goes 2 weeks out, then 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 1 week, then 3 weeks, then 1 week, then 3 weeks. So it's not like hammering them all like constantly, but it's enough to keep you top of mind, right? With the information. And again, we're just trying to get them to respond to us. So if you guys don't see this in your system, again, it is called the new buyer lead app with or without sold. Some of you have, depends on, again, the feed that you have. If you don't see that in there and you want to have the 11 action one, just contact support@agentlocator.ca and they can definitely install it for you right away. Now we have Sika's where we have access to all the previous recorded training videos. YouTube. Yeah, so if you go on YouTube, they're all going to be on here. So you do have your different playlists. Okay, so if you go into the different playlists here, so there's different ones on here. This is the leveraging series. So obviously last session was updated on here, but it's actually the full series from last time as well. And so if you guys really wanted to, you could jump in there and watch the whole previous series again. But that's where you're going to have that. You also have the training site. So the training.agentlocator.ca. Okay, so this is where you're going to be able to go and find resources. There is some on-demand webinars on here. Depends on what platforms you have. They're not organized just yet, okay? But this is like your lead gen. So if you're running lead generation, the CRM training part 1, and then this is the CRM part 2. For that, again, I'm going to have her better organize these because they're just all mixed together. You then have also the, so like if you have a legacy website, how to edit your website, things like that. A lot of these are, so this is the automated street match, how you go about that. So just a couple different webinars in there that you may find useful for yourself as well. But again, they're not really in order, so to speak. They will be soon though, categorized, because I want them automated and then legacy, because a lot of people will get confused if they're watching this one, for example, and it's not even the site that they have. Yeah, so Nabil, the app is already built in. So every person that signs up on your website also has that ability to download the app, or they have the app, unique app link already instantly. And I believe they're working on a feature that is going to prompt them, I think, on the website as well. So you know how sometimes you go onto a website and you're browsing listings on your phone and it'll ask you, it has that little banner that suggests using the app instead. That's something that they're going to develop for you guys, so that when somebody is on your website, they can then download the app and they're using the app on there instead. Yeah, was there any additional questions that I can answer for you folks? It's early on, and I always say, if you guys have a question and you're not sure, you're not going to sound silly, I promise you, because I can guarantee you there's at least one other person in this group that has the same question. They're also just not asking it. So it is there. But this training site does give you a lot of resources, you guys. There's a lot of training tutorials on here. So if you go to the courses, a lot of the how-tos are in there. There's courses on conversion, so best practices with your leads, things like that. So it's jam-packed. We try to keep you guys boosted and up to date in here. I'm trying to think of, we just launched a couple new features today. Nothing super crazy, but you guys will now notice, actually one of them is pretty cool. You guys will now notice when you get a lead register and you're getting that notification email, the email is now showcasing to you the type of lead it is. Okay, so we've now included that because some of our clients are running different campaigns, buyers, sellers, rentals, things like that. And so being able to know in that email, so if you're actioning that lead on the go, knowing, am I calling a seller or a buyer right now, was important. So we've added that in there for you guys. The other update that is super exciting is for anyone that has a team, or talk to your brokerages, because we're expanding and we're creating this option specifically for brokerages to be able to onboard their agents to have these sites. Okay, so it's pretty cool. So in here, you have the option in your site manager. Now, in your site manager, it shows you the sites that you already have, okay? But you can create a new website now. So you can create one sub website for each sub user, okay? So when you're creating the sub users, you have the different option for the sites in here. Our support team is going to get notified that that's created so they can connect your domains and what have you. I can't create a site right now because all of my sub users are already connected to a site. Okay, so I can't do that, but that's how you do it. You say, okay, I have Crystal Buyer. She wants a website now. We're going to create her a website, and then that way she can start, advertising, leveraging it, generating business for herself, and everybody wins. With these as well, just so you guys are aware, like I said, talk to the brokerages. Like, this is a great way to get a lot of the agents and a lot of people, gaining more transactions, more businesses within your brokerages or your teams. The only difference between these is that we will not run Google ads for you on these sub sites. Okay, so it's only the primary account holder that we're doing that for. if they want to, or if you have a sub-site and you want to be able to run ads and so on, you would have to have your own site to be able to do that, essentially your whole own system. These are more effective for teams that may also want their agents to be able to advertise as part of the team, but also, that the automated privileges of better lead capture. So that's exciting. So that just launched today on there. But that's really it for like major updates, so to speak. A lot of them are board feed related things in there. And of course, we're always providing you guys updates. So, but I'm going to end it on that note. If you guys have any questions or have any questions about this, or talk to your team leads or talk to your brokers, it's a win-win for everyone. I feel in that, agents get a free website, and the team leads or brokerages end up getting more deals happen because of the great lead capture and automation. But you guys will receive a copy of this recording tomorrow. The Zoom should update you and send an email out. And as always, they are going to be posted tomorrow, or we pick one of the two, whether it's the morning or the afternoon, that gets posted onto our YouTube channel for you guys to watch anytime. Yeah, Murtaza is saying I'm getting a lead is now active. Is this new? No, it is not new. Those are your lead alerts. So your lead alerts are on, letting you know that your lead is active. That is an existing feature. It might have been turned on for you. Maybe it wasn't turned on. If you guys want to address or update any kind of lead alerts, it's under your user preferences, and you just go to lead alerts. Okay, so lead alerts here, it allows you to alert yourself based on different activities and how you wish to get alerted with that behavior. But it's a great way to stay on top of your leads for sure, the ones that are looking at listings more than 3 times, or, you can start to monitor your leads, who keeps coming in more frequently, or if their activity starts to pick up, right? So if you notice that your lead, has been kind of dormant, looking here and there, and all of a sudden they start to look a lot more frequently, that could mean a shift in their plan. So a good opportunity for you guys to reach out. And you will always receive a notification when a lead has become active within the last 30 days. Okay, so that one there, if they've been dormant and all of a sudden be active, that's a great notification to receive as well. So that's why you're getting that. But thanks to you all for hopping on today. If you have any questions or need any assistance, just reach out to support. They're going to direct your questions or inquiries or what have you to myself, or if you know who your assigned trainer is, feel free to reach out to them. They can definitely assist you and arrange for additional sessions if you feel you need it. But thank you, everyone. You enjoy the rest of your afternoons, and I hope you get to enjoy a little bit at least of a long weekend. You're not working too hard. Until then, we'll see you next week.